Transforming your life through hypnotherapy has never been easier. With the help of your host, Julie from coachinghypnosis.net, and these power-packed minisodes, you're sure to find yourself engaging in more positive behaviors around both your physical and mental health. Here's your host, Julie.
G'day, it's Julie from coachinghypnosis.net, and you deserve to know the Mammoth way to perfect manners in 2023, because people have had enough of feeling graceful and stuffing it up at the same time. And I'm not a therapist or psychotherapist, but this is my 10th year as a clinical hypnotherapist in strategic psychotherapy. I currently help my clients online. They change their life without changing out of their pajamas. And I can only imagine someone like you is self-aware, stylish in a classically smart kind of way. And you deserve to act in a distinguished manner when you choose. And you deserve to know who you can never make happy, no matter how good your manners are. Do you know who you can never make happy, no matter how good your manners are? People who say one should respect other people's feelings, because that statement is missing indices. There are no measurements in that statement, like indicator, ratio, clue, basis, formula, guide, needle, pointer, model, indication, mark, symbol. So you can't make that person happy, no matter how good your manners are. But if they said one should indicate when they're about to turn left to the traffic lights if they are respectful, then you know how to make them happy. Or if they said one should give a clue that I've been noticed, like say hello, smile, nod when I walk past them in order to respect my feelings. As you already know, manners and a respect for others is part of being a citizen of an advanced civil society like the Commonwealth, the United States, or the EU. You know that when citizens have the right skills, knowledge and values, magic happens. People's attitudes are heightened. And the behavior is sensational. And I can only imagine someone like you behaves in the right manner all the time, the manner of an upstanding citizen. And those values you have will be something like respect the freedom and dignity of individuals because you're fabulous. And there's also a manner of polite masculinity through the ceremonial life of the military. This manner is held in high esteem by military thinkers, trainers and soldiers, as it fosters bodily health, graceful deportment, and a synchronicity of movement that are prided on the battlefield. You'll be hard-pressed to find toxic masculinity in the military when twinkle toes are required in things like urban combat. But as you know, the online world is a completely different battlefield of manners. If only I could say to people, if you wouldn't say it to someone's face, don't say it online. If you've been trolled, you're not alone. I have about 140,000 listens on a wellness app, and I get a lot of 4.5 star or 5-star reviews. But I also get a bunch of 1 stars with comments from everything like, you sound drunk, to it didn't work, or WTF. Maybe if I was in the Communist Party, I would appreciate 1-star reviews. But there are good people out there. So don't give up on manners, because polite computing is a thing. According to the Journal of Behavior and Information Technology, BIT puts people before technology. Remember Mr. Clippy? People stopped using the talking paperclip because they found him to be rude, popping up onto their computer screens all the time. And as you know, the phrase, one should respect others' feelings, isn't wrong, but it sucks because it's a poorly formed sentence. The one way of thinking about how grammar works in respect to well-formedness, imagine you are with an alien and in front of you are words written on pieces of paper in a basket. The alien pulls out one word at a time and places them beside each other. In what manner would you conduct yourself? Would you listen and praise in a step-by-step manner? The manner of your tone of voice? Would you act in a casual manner, a phenomenally fast manner, or in the expressive manner in which you live? Grammar is learnable and a teachable system for the alien. If you were to think of a tradesman who can fix a leak in the roof of your imaginary 10-bedroom home, you'll want him to show up with a toolkit. In fact, you want him to have all the tools to do the job, to fix your leaking roof. How you choose to interact with the alien is to say, good, you're an alien, we're sitting here together at a table, and we're both not freaking out, but let's add other choices to those choices you already have so that we have a wider repertoire. Hospitals use keywords at key times all the time. In fact, grammar is really important to places like hospitals. They use keywords at key times, and to quote Quint Studer from his book Hardwiring Excellence, "Blessed is the influence of one true loving soul on another." The truth is, some hospitals find keywords are so important, they dedicate entire meetings to keywords. If I was a qualified nurse, which I'm not, but if I was going to do a blood draw, I could say to a patient, "Mr. Patient, Dr. Marshall cares about you very much and wants to make sure we do this blood draw so your lab results will be available when he comes to the hospital. I have 5 years experience and have taken thousands of blood draws. May I look at your arm? I know this isn't a pleasant experience, but I have advanced training to make this easy as it can be on you. Let me also check your wristband because patient safety is very important to us. How does Mr. Patient feel about his doctor? Good. Because what if I said, well, Mr. Patient, I'm glad I'm not you. Look at the size of this needle. I hope you have a high tolerance for pain. I know your veins are so small. It might take a few tries. Or what if I said nothing and just grabbed the patient's arm? Keywords at key times. Many staff members and nurses know that when a patient arrives, they ask, is there anything else I can do for you? I have time, because if they don't, the patient hits the call button. Or worse, they complain to family and friends. The 3 top reasons for call buttons are normally toilet assistance, bed adjustments, and pain medication, and the best way to anticipate unmet needs are to make sure they have all of those things, and then you can say something like, I've arranged your light, your bedside table, and your phone so they are within reach. You just use the bathroom, so you won't need to use it for a while. I'll be back in 2 hours, but if you need anything, just hit the call button. They do these out of efficiency and concern. When citizens of advanced civil societies like the US, the EU, the Commonwealth, or our allies have the right skills, knowledge, and values, you know magic happens. Life is great. It seems like manners are the cornerstone of etiquette. People listen. They say please and thank you. They understand if you're short of time. They help you. They praise and congratulate you. They intend to be punctual. They wear appropriate clothing. People greet you, or maybe you even introduce yourself. But as you know, that magic happens with a series of steps, like respect the freedom of dignity of individuals, the freedom of religion, including the freedom not to follow a particular religion, freedom of speech, freedom of association, freedom of equality and opportunity for all people, regardless of their gender, sexual orientation, age, disability, race, national or ethnic origin, commitment to the rule of law, which means that all people are subjected to the law and should obey it, a level of acceptance of equal rights for minority groups, a willingness for future political participation, civic and citizenship knowledge, civic self-efficacy, and have the confidence in your ability to effect change. According to the study Polite Computing, politeness is defined in information terms as an offering the locus of control of social interaction to another party. Software that creates pop-up windows is not illegal, but it's impolite and it preempts user choice. It is proposed that impolite software drives users away, while polite software attracts them. Specifying politeness suggests 4 requirements: respect user choice, disclose yourself, offer useful choices, remember past choices. Software that ignores these rules may fail, not by logic or error, but by social error. And it turns out, if you want to behave in a relaxed manner, when you respectfully pay attention, concentrate and focus, you automatically activate your frontal lobe of your brain, which reduces synapse firing in the rest of the neocortex. Therefore, you lower the volume of the circuits in the brain that process time and space. And what people love about meditation or hypnosis is their mind becomes quiet, peaceful, and relaxed through a focused form of concentration. And since the Depression of 1920 to 1921, gone are the days of standing in a long queue at the bank. Now the whole atmosphere of the bank is one of manners. And to quote Napoleon Hill, think and grow rich. Courtesy and service are the watchwords of merchandising today, and apply to the person who is marketing personal services even more directly to the employer whom he serves, because in the final analysis, both the employer and his employee are employed by the public they serve. If they fail to serve well, they pay by the loss of their privilege of serving. Many have read this in the Bible, but few have discovered its meaning. Now and for several years, the entire world's been listening by force to a sermon which might well be called, "Whatever a man soweth, that shall he also reap." Nothing as widespread and as effective as the Depression could possibly be just a coincidence. Behind the Depression was cause. Nothing ever happens without cause. In the main, the cause of the Depression is traceable directly to the world's habit of trying to reap without sowing. This should not be mistaken to mean the Depression represents a crop which the world is being forced to reap without having sown. The trouble is the world sowed the wrong sort of seed. Any farmer knows he cannot grow the seed of thistles and reap a harvest of grain. Beginning at the outbreak of the war, the people in the world began to sow the seed of service, inadequate in both quality and quantity. Nearly everyone was engaged in the pastime of trying to get without giving. So here is the one mammoth way to perfect manners in 2023, because learning came naturally in those years. Revisit your curious baby self. And now, as I wonder, you can allow your mind to drift gently back through time to those earliest days and weeks and months, and remember yourself from those earliest moments when you emerged from the womb, a safe, warm, comfortable environment where nothing mattered except you and your comforts of your bodily needs were met. And that very first day when you pushed yourself and when you were ready to be reborn and coming out into a bright, hard, cold world. Now you think, was it for you to feel loved and wanted, cradled in soft, loving arms? Were you secure in the love of all of those around you? Remember how you learned to cry? At first it was instinctive, but after a while you realized that you and your other needs could be met when you made a sound. You slept quite a lot those days, and then after some time in this bright new world, you learned how to lift your head. It was such an achievement. It was a time when you tried to roll over and you tried and tried until you succeeded. It took such concentration to get all those muscles to work together, but you did it. Remember learning to sit up and balance your muscles. Soon you were pulling yourself up into a sitting position, and sometimes you lolled to the left and sometimes to the right until you mastered the art, and even then you weren't satisfied with just that. Remember how brave and daring you felt when you ventured out into that very first step. Even when you fell back onto your bottom, you didn't give up. You persevered, held on to the furniture to help you to move until finally you trusted yourself to let go, and you did. You succeeded again. Remember learning your language, or the sounds that rolled off your tongue, and by your first birthday you could already understand a lot of what was being spoken to you. You could even begin to make a few of your own needs understood. Now let yourself go right back inside and discover that baby self deep within you. You're still open, still curious. Feel those special parts still there, receptive and eager to learn. For a few months, just let yourself enjoy. And of course, you can continue to enjoy for as long as your unconscious mind finds it necessary. Discovering love of learning new things, and quite often the more challenging they seem, the more satisfaction you feel afterwards of having achieved, having learned something new. It's an exciting feeling. It's special. Your brain contains its own special patterns where learnings are stored, new ones being created all the time. Bring back with you to the present moment now those special parts of you that are curious, eager, receptive parts for learning all the time. Even when you're playing, learning, it's fun. It's exciting to discover new ways and manners to conduct yourself. Learning for you is just that, fun and exciting. So what if you thought about manners differently? And what if you didn't? The choice is yours.